Now we have audio. We have audio now? All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for letting me know. All right. Now we have audio. I'm going to... Okay, it's okay. It's okay. We're going to restart. We're going to restart. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Hello. Thanks for coming to the stream. We totally just starting right now. Totally, right? All right. Let me just double check. Let me check if Instagram is going as well. Okay, Instagram is running. It's a little behind. But yo, what's good? Hello, Origami every week. Thanks for joining. All right, I'm going to try to keep Instagram up for a little bit. If you're watching on Instagram, it'll be live for a while, but mainly it's going to be on my YouTube channel. That's where I'm reading the most chat. But I'm going to try to say hi to everyone here. I don't know if TikTok chat is going through. I have it open, but I don't see anyone. I just see people joining. So what's up, people on TikTok, if you're joining in. Thanks for tuning in. If you want, you can jump over to YouTube and I'll respond to all your questions more adequately than I can here. And then let me check on Twitch really quick. And then I'll get into what we're doing today, which I totally explained while mute. So, all right, let's go to dashboard on Twitch. We are live here. Let me see the chat. Oh, thanks, Rice Asian, for the follow. Yeah, shout out to people on Twitch as well. But once again, I'm going to try to talk to the support that's doing this multi-stream thing for me and see how I can fix the multi-chat. That way I can just read everyone at the same time. I hope it gets better. Yeah, Instagram's on. Good. I see y'all here. This is good stuff. Hello. Thanks for tuning in. All right. So let's stop stalling and get on to what this stream about and also some nice announcements. So, okay. It's so funny because I explained this and nobody heard it because I was mute. But all right, we're good to go. Gia Win, hello, first time watching the stream. Hey, thanks for watching the stream. Thanks for tuning in. This is gonna be a fun stream. So if you look at the stream schedule, I know it's a little bit small right now. Maybe I can blow this up just for now. We have a obligatory Orietta in the background, but we're not actually working on crease patterns. Okay, so here's our stream schedule. So as always, we're going to check out some cool folds from Origami Dan. There's been some wild submissions. Now, some of them I'm not going to view yet, or I'm going to view very quickly because we're going to review them next week. So this week's stream, we have an Origami collection review, and this is part 2 of that series. There's going to be part 3. So the context with that is last stream, we did a $10,000 Origami collection review, and we only got halfway through the cabinet or we only got through one of the 2 cabinets, and it was already totaling something crazy. But there was way more Origami and books to review than I thought. So obviously I am not in the same spot right now, but we still have Origami to go over. So while I'm in a different spot for the next like 2 or 3 weeks, might as well review this stuff too, because I actually have a lot of books and there's some older OBB models here that we can check out. So that's for today. And then next week, I'm going to be reviewing Death Battle Round 2. So if you're not familiar with the Origami Death Battle, that's a competition, a battle, 1v1 Origami designers, 1v1. And there's some crazy submissions that I saw today. So we're going to check those out for next week's stream. So that's why in our first review, we're going to keep that short, just get straight to the content, because we're going to be checking those out a lot next week. And then the following week is going to be part 3 of this collection review, and we're going to find out what's the grand total of my Origami collection, and there's going to be an exciting announcement during that stream regarding that type of thing. So mark your calendars. That's going to be a big stream. So I think either it's going to be in 2 or 3 weeks. Let me check the date right now so I don't get it wrong. I don't want to spread misinformation. Okay, so July 12th. Friday, July 12th is going to be a really big stream. We're going to have some cool stuff announced. Stay tuned for that one. But for today, we got some interesting stuff to go to. So I'm not going to stall too long in this intro. Um, how's it going, everyone? A 4-way stream. Yeah, we're cooking with the multi-stream outputs. Trying, at least. I gave a full intro to myself. Yeah, that's so true. But yeah, everyone who's watching, feel free to ask questions. Again, I'm going to try to get to questions in like Instagram and the other spots, but a lot of times I won't be able to. It's just not working for me, the 4-way chat reading. So head on over to YouTube if you have like a big question you want answered, and I will definitely do my best to respond. All right, so without further ado, I think that's all the announcements I had. Oh, we have one more announcement. So speaking of YouTube, I am getting really close to 20,000 subscribers. That's crazy. That's a lot of y'all. So I'm super thankful, and I've been teasing it in some comments if you've commented on my videos, but at 20,000 subscribers, I'm going to have a poll for like basically subscribers get to choose the next tutorial I make. And it's going to be from some existing designs that are very, very sought after for tutorials. So this is like a very complex tutorial. I'm going to be posting that right now. The ideas is for like the square twist samurai, the sword and shield version 2. And then I forget what the third one was, but it could be between like the tower guard or invention of the crane or I forget. There's a third one that I had an idea for. But if you want to contribute to which ones get voted on, like definitely let me know. Either comment on one of the YouTube videos, like, or send me a DM on which model of mine you want a tutorial to be voted on. And whatever the most popular one, I'll add it as like the third or fourth option. Head empty is not getting a tutorial, so don't say that. I think someone commented, Boyce, will you make a head empty tutorial if you hit 20 million subscribers? Okay, 20 million, I'll do the head empty. But until then, no head empty tutorial. So sorry. But from the options, I think there'll still be some crazy ones to pick. Like I know the square twist samurai is super popular. The sword and shield 24 grid is super, super popular. I'm actually teaching that at the Origami convention. Only to 10 people. So if you want to increase that number and I can teach it to everyone, I think that'd be a great tutorial. And then we'll see what else people want to vote on. Yeah, that's the last announcement. Let's get started with our first piece of content, which is the Origami Dan review. So if you're new here, we start the stream by going over other people's folds, just checking out what people have been making. And I think if I close this for now and switch this over like that, this one. Nope, that didn't work. Okay. Discord. There we go. That worked. All right. Yeah. So we get to check out some really awesome origami made by other people. And starting off, we're starting with Hall of Fame. We like to go through Hall of Fame and Starboard. That's generally, you know, what the community decides as like what are the top folds recently. First up, we have Shadow by Yuho. So Yuho's actually dropped 2 recent insane models. I can't remember if we've reviewed the first one, but this one's the most recent. And so he titled it Shadow. And Yuho, if you might have seen his stuff, it went quite viral on Reddit and YouTube. For his assassin, this is kind of like the follow-up of that assassin. It obviously looks very different, but he mentioned that it was kind of in the same like thought process, just trying out different structures for doing the legs and also the face. And this one is also with his special black dyed Wenjo photographed against a black background. So he's showing off his mastery of folding skills and mastery of photography to get this done. Yeah, pretty insane. I'd say lots to learn. Yes. Let's see. Simon. Oh, what's up, Simon? Dude. Yo. Post more YouTube videos, man. Get back on it for sure. That'd be lit. We need the origami YouTubers to come through strong. Let's go. 20 million, and I'm sure Boyce will collaborate with Kamiya for a challenge. Oh, true. Better have smaller. Yeah, so the Sword and Shield class is only 10. It's a 3-hour class. That's, I think, all that I can teach within 3 hours to like actually get people to fold that thing. Speaking of which, I know we're like totally deviating off topic. Like here's my test fold. And I speed ran this in about 2 hours. So I think there's enough time to speed run it and then shape as much as possible. So like this one's not fully shaped, but it's close. So I think with 3 hours. And then I'm going to tell everyone to either fold the grid already, or I'm going to pre-fold some of the grid for those 10 people. We'll be chilling. After getting a job and moving and stuff, I feel you. So many goats in the community. True. Speaking of goats, Yuho right here. Kind of crazy. So let's take a look at some more of these photos. And then I'll keep answering chat. Just because they're like, I like this angle a lot. So here you can see more depth in the hood. Which, by the way, hoods are really hard because the way the paper structure works, when you try to have a head and then have a proper like face or skull shape that the hood covers, the paper just operates weirdly. But Yuho's figured out. He's definitely experienced doing hoods and just how it sits over the head. Very, very cool. There's tons of like little details in the armor here. A lot of it is kind of packed in to the clothing since it's moving. But if you look really closely, you can see a ton of details. And one of my favorite parts is actually how clean the dagger is. So we saw a little bit on this, just how clean the blade is, which is really hard to do because there's plenty of layers going on. But he shaped even like the pommel really cleanly, which most of my models, you might think maybe the blade's clean, but the pommel's definitely not clean. It's like super mushed. Even in the example I just gave, right? Don't look behind the hand and everything will be okay. But another big focus that Yuho worked on is this knee. And I think the knee is really successful on this leg. And not only is it like good, it's fully closed, which is also extremely hard. So Yuho's cooking up some magic there. Now, one thing, actually, I think this angle, it doesn't do justice, but this knee, it kind of looks a little different. This might just be the angle, but and also the way the calf kind of is working. But we can kind of see here, if you just look at the leg itself, he's got that knee joint. I do prefer this one. I think this one is like really, really accurate. This is just hard. Like I personally struggle with knees a ton. But this is cool to see. I'm going to be studying this just to try to learn more techniques myself and see how to improve it. But yeah, really cool, really dynamic posing. Even the elbow, the wrist, everything, the clothing, it just sits differently. That I haven't seen anyone else really be able to achieve this level of, I guess, realism in terms of like these kinds of models. So definitely a Hall of Fame worthy model. Pretty insane. It looks like that's the only one since. So we definitely reviewed this one last time. So that's it for Hall of Fame. Not everything gets into Hall of Fame. That's kind of valid. We can check out Starboard to see some other cool stuff. Second fold. I saw classes released too. I was going to ask you about pre-folding the grid. Yeah. So, I don't know how they're going to be assigning classes. So people may or may not be able to get in. Unfortunately, just because I think right now there's a little over 300 people coming to the convention. Could be close to 400, and there's only 10 slots in my class. But it's just a 24 grid. So if you can fold thirds and then you just divide it a few times to get 24s, that's all we'll need to save like half an hour to 45 minutes of teaching time. Jared, my speed run took way more than 2 hours. Yeah, I have a sequence for the claps that's going to make it like really easy to figure out. And then also people won't really have to figure out the shaping. The thing that'll take the longest actually is the fingers. So for one of the hands, I'm going to show the fingers. The other hand, I'm going to skip most of it until the end. But I do have a shortcut for that kind of finger as well. But we'll see how good people are with sync folds. And it'll tell how much time everything takes. But the rest of the model is like very easy to shape. Hopefully the more advanced students will help out those. Yeah, exactly. And I think with 10, like I can be very personal and just be going up to people and helping. So ideally we make it in time. What's your first model that you created by yourself? I want to get into creating origami models, but I don't know where to start. So this, you see this fish logo that's right under my camera? That's the first model I designed, I believe. I designed it like way long ago. I didn't understand anything about origami design, and I just kind of knew how to fold. And I just free folded, and I checked it with a lot of other origami fish to see like, oh, am I the first one to do a fish like this? And I was like, pretty sure I was. The tail, it's a weird, even the color change is just a blintz, but it like self intersects through itself. You can see the tutorial. It's been up for a long time. I think it's pretty cool. That was my first design. It's not a great design in terms of elegance or efficiency, but it was my first design and I like it. So the best tip I have for you is just start trying, play around, and don't expect to make anything like insane at first. Like this fish was not on first attempt, you know what I mean? It took me a while even to get here. But just starting is actually going to get you far. And then learn crease patterns and structures, and you'll be able to, that'll just help you design, having that foundation. But yeah, good question. Simon, the shaping on that one's crazy. It's rare to find origami humans that look so 3D from all. Yeah, it's super, super rare. And I know Yuho is really focusing on that. I know like Chris, he's focusing on that as well for a lot of his models. Like those two are really kind of pushing the human 3D, like all angle type stuff. And it's really cool to see. So keep your eyes out on Yuho. Keep your eyes out on Chris. Maybe keep your eyes out on me. I kind of do it. I'm a little lazy. Like, the back is just a back. Maybe it'll be a closed back, but I don't really fully close everything all the time. But you know, that's just me. I like viewing it from the front. Who knows? Maybe I'll start doing fully closed stuff when I overcome my skill issues, right? But no, those are cool to see. Those are really cool to see. They're like, you know, my peers, my fellow peers in the origami complex human niche. Super fun to see. Fingers was one of those hours. Yeah, the fingers are kind of crazy. One of them's really hard to figure out if you don't know what. Actually, both hands on this guy. Okay, hold on. Let's flip over to here. I know I'm going way off topic. But this hand, it can take way longer than it has to if you don't know how to do it like this. And same thing with this hand. It's really hard to figure out what these fingers even do unless you know. And if you know, this speeds up a little bit. You still have to do some sync folds, but this one speeds up a lot. You don't have to do any sync folds if you know how to do the correct sequence. It's a little bit messier not doing the sync folds, but like you can do the sync folds. It's, yeah, I don't know. But we can hopefully turn that 1 hour of fingers into like 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. And then yeah, everything else is pretty fine. Like this is just super normal. These are just leg, knee, shield is shield. This might take some time to get used to, but the folds are really easy. This is a little weird. The sword's a little weird, but hopefully within 3 hours we'll be good. Simon, maybe you want to get back into folding, start making better designs. I'll make video design. Yeah. You know, as long as you're enjoying origami, then the videos come a lot easier. You must have been hungry when you designed it. It looks like a tuna. Oh, the fish. You know, probably. I do like sushi a lot, so that could have played into the fact. Mark, I used to try that. My Archangel was probably my first success. Oh yeah, I totally forgot Mark. Yeah, Mark does 3D clothes. Mark does some crazy like 2-in-1s as well. Mark also does like really good feather patterns. Mark does a lot of stuff. Go check out Mark's stuff. Who knows what Mark's cooking up later, but it's always something crazy good. Yeah, if you notice Square Twist Samurai, that whole back portion was Mark. That's crazy stuff. But yeah, the Archangel is really, that's cool. That makes sense. Close to fully closed human. But yeah, man, legs and arms, they're hard to do closed. Just because you want to pose them. Yeah, it's wild stuff. Okay, so let's get back to, we'll just review a little bit more. We're going on a little bit of a tangent. And I don't want this stream to go on too long today. so we can actually get through all the origami I have to review. But we'll take a quick look through starboard. Louis, Bobby, Panda, very nice, clean. Oh, bread, this is so cool. CLS, let's go. Not sure how I pronounce that, but bread origami. That's actually insane. That's actually super nice. I like that a lot. Oh, sweet. CAR. This is Fumiaki Kawahata, I think. Stegosaurus. Very, very nice. Oh, this is cool. Cool patterns. Some 3D tessellation going on. Oh, that's cool. So it's like a twist. Oh, that's really cool. I like that. Farah's trash can. This is nice. Very nice. Wow, bread was on there twice. Oh my goodness, bread with texture. This is insane. This is actually crazy. That's so good. That bread looks delicious. Okay, we have Yuho's model. Very nice. Trees and pyramids. That's nice. So this is actually like a simpler version of like same concept but normal of this one, and this one's like the insane one. That's kind of cool. Butterfingers. We got a stork. Blue heron. My bad. Great blue heron. Awesome. Help me workshop the model. Nice. That's being taught. That's super cool. Oh, me. Hey, it's me. Okay. Origami Sam from Honkai Star Rail. So last stream, I think I teased this a little bit. And then like literally after that stream, I spent the next 3 days like finalizing the design and creating the video, all to be done within like 1 week. That was actually crazy. If y'all seen the YouTube video, I like edited the intro, and then the day before I edited everything else up until when I posted it. Like I think I posted it at 8 p.m. my time. I was editing like as much as I could throughout the day. I had to work still too, so I did work, and like during breaks, just quick edit. During work, like maybe thinking of the edit, and then right after work, just finishing it off super quickly. But that's a really cool video. It's probably my best edited video. You might have seen the short that I posted recently. So that's like the short form version of it. But honestly, if you want to learn about designing and just like design process, go check out that video. It's super in depth, or it's not too in depth, but it's more in depth. So you kind of get an idea of what it's like. But it's also, I think, very palatable. I didn't go too crazy, or it's not too boring, you know, because sometimes I can just talk forever. So go check that out. And then also check out some of the other design vlogs. I think those ones are more in depth. So they're a little bit less interesting to the normal person. But I know Gia, I think you were interested in designing. You can get like my full thought process through some of those videos. Go check it out. And you can see some designs. But yeah, you can see like here, this is not closed at all. Like the back is technically closed, but the arms and legs are fully open. So yeah, just don't look at the back, just look at the front, and it looks pretty cool, right? It's still kind of 3D, but only from certain angles. The bread looks delicious. True. I really like color change to animal models. Yeah, those animal models are really nice, like that panda, clean black and white. Stunkful boys, remember the butterfly? Yes. This is yeah. See, Steve? Yeah, it's crazy, right? Yeah, I remember that butterfly, and that was definitely original because you were doing some things with the the angles and some of those pleats that like, yeah, it's definitely no one's doing that. So that was definitely original, and now your designs are like way more refined. Guys, if you don't know Steve, check out Steve's stuff on Instagram, Stuck in the Fold. He's cooking. So if you want to see like from first learning how to design to like just working on it over like not a terribly long time, see some improvement, go check out Steve's stuff. It's really cool. Boise Karen, on live or off camera, give CC on the face. Oh yeah, sure. I'll do some in depth. So Shang Nara is an OBB member, and we have a members Discord if you join. So if that's something you're able to do to help support the channel, you also get quite some good benefits joining that Discord server. So If you want to join the OBV membership, I'm plugging it, but like honestly, I feel it's really useful for people. So, for example, I'll give Shangnara some insights on how I do faces, and in the form of a critique with his own face. So, that interests you, that's open. But yeah, definitely. Okay, let's keep going really quick. Well, I'll just go through a few more. We got an Ancient Dragon 2.0. Very nice. That's a fun one. Teeth are actually really long. That's good. Hard to do. Reza, let's go. This is cool. This is Guan Yu by I forget who the designer is. Mao Xin. Yeah, very nice. This is a hard model. I was thinking of folding it back in the day and I never did, just because I thought it was too hard for me at the time. Very nice. I can do it now, but now I just don't have time. I need to fold models that aren't my own. I need to do that sometimes. I always learn stuff by folding other people's models, but it's been so long. Here we have an earwig. This is cool. Dot Cove Prime. This is really cool. They're being a little hard on themselves for a side profile underneath, but I think from this angle it looks great. Oh, flatten the crane. This is neat. Very creative, Faraz. Dude, Faraz always has these really creative like 2D flat fold stuff. That's neat. Carrot. The anime girl, very cultured, very nice. Naoki, hex pleating, let's go. So according to plant psychologists, hex pleating is the future. Naoki is cooking with the hex plates. Look at these natural shapes, just using the 60-degree angles. Really nice. Got the color change. Really cool. Yeah, it looks cute too. It's really good shapes. Okay, it keeps jumping me to there. Oh, Kimiro. We always see a Kimiro model. We got an alien queen. This is, wow, actually insane. What is, how, what? That tail is nuts. Is it all pleats? Oh my goodness, it is. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. All right, Kimiro is in. Oh, this is really cool. A Sevilla fish. These are really cute. I've seen these in like, yeah, here we have a, look at that. Isn't that cute? Very nice. Got a Trinojin. Do I have the Trinojin? No, Trinojin is somewhere else. Okay. I was the first one to fold this, by the way. Maybe Bodo folded it before I did, but I think I was the first one. Okay. So this is Chris's model. I'm not going to review too much of this because we're going to review it next week, but it's actually crazy. So if you want to check that out, go check that out. Same thing with Anise. I'm not going to look at it too much. All right, that's the last thing because we're going to be reviewing those two next week. They're some of the most insane death battle submissions I've ever seen. Yeah. Hexplane and tri/quad color designs are the future. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. We're expanding origami. It's actually nuts. Bodo was one of the last to fold. Okay. Then I think I'm the first if Bodo didn't fold it himself. Simon, where can I learn about hexplating? I think Plant has a video on hexplating. And then as long as you know how to fold like the triangle grid, which like you just fold the paper in half. You fold. Here we go. It's like I have a paper somewhere on my wallet. So you fold the grid this way, like just one way. And then to get the triangle, you just fold like this. So corner to the center line. And then the other corner to the second, like that. And then if, say, you folded like a 16 grid horizontally, now you have the angle and then you just line up all the angles from there. It's super easy. It's basically like if this is the quarter, right now you line the quarter up and you just keep the angle going the whole time. There'll be references for every single triangle grid part. Oh yeah, Simon, join the design Discord. Mark, since you're a mod, I think you can post links. Feel free to post the link, invite link to the design server. If you're not able to post a link, oops. I think I have it disabled, but I think you can. I'm not too sure. Cool. Yuho and Chris. Goats. Yes, that's a cool goat emote. That's awesome. Okay, let's go. Let's start now the second part of our content today, our main content. So we have the origami collection review. Let's start that up. Let me, yeah. Here we go. All right. So I already have it on screen for both people, TikTok, Instagram, as well as on YouTube, Twitch. We have the real value versus the perceived value. So if you weren't here last time, let me just explain those things really quick. I'm also going to record this, which I need to remember to do, to put it in one big video for the finale. I'm just calculating everything. But really quickly, real value. Let me hide the stream schedule. Real value is if the model, this is for origami models, if the model I've sold it, or what, like the highest I've sold it for, a real sale, or what someone has offered me by decline because it wasn't high enough. So that one's kind of more rare. The more common one is if I've sold it, what was the price I sold it for? That'll be real value. Perceived value, and if I haven't sold it or haven't been offered, or it's not my design, which I won't sell it, it'll just be material cost. So what did the paper cost me? And generally it's super cheap. Perceived value, on the other hand, is the cost of my state's minimum wage times the time that it took me to fold it. So if it took 20 hours, then it's 20 times the minimum wage. And that's the perceived value. And that's just like a fun number. But as you can see, our real value and our perceived value are actually pretty close. There's not too much difference. I thought there'd be a much greater difference calculating it like that, because some of these folds take a long time. But so far, it's pretty close. So that's cool. And then the last factor is books. Books are just, I'm looking them up on Origami Shop, or if I can find them, Amazon Origami House, wherever I can find them. Most of the time I've purchased them from Origami Shop. So the books might be cheaper now from other sources or directly from Origami House themselves, but I'm just gonna be using Origami Shop prices because I think that's at least what I paid. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense to everybody. And let's get to the first item. Yeah, time already in it. Cool. Not a mod on this account. Oh, I see. Wait, I can change that. I think. Let me go here. Let me see if it loads the chat. My channel live. Yeah, time already in it. Cool. Ooh, mute that. Okay. There you go. Now you are a mod. Okay. Pooja asks, I really want to fold Samurai version 3, but I don't know how to start. I've been doing origami for the last 6 to 7 months. So first thing, I have a tutorial, Pooja. So follow that tutorial. There's a nice sequence for that. And there's an updated crease pattern, but it's like mostly the same. But take a look at the tutorial. It's pretty in depth, and I've had a lot of people succeed, even if they've only been doing origami for less than a year. Feel free to try it. And if it's too hard now, keep practicing and then come back to it. But every time you retry it, it'll probably get easier and easier. But I recommend checking out the tutorial for sure. Spot, I cannot keep track of the time I spent designing. Yeah, same. I'm just estimating, and I'm trying to lowball for sure. But sometimes it takes way longer. Shinar, I think you need more experience than that. 6 to 7 months. Yeah. So it might not be enough time, 6 to 7 months, to do the samurai. You can try some of my human, just the basic human, and then there's like the husbando. That's like a 24 grid. That's like the next level up. And then once you can get those done, if it makes a lot of sense, then maybe you can try the samurai. But if not, try the crease pattern class. Go through that, and that'll give you enough experience to fold the samurai. There's nothing too crazy with the samurai. But all right, let's let's get started. I think I've stalled long enough. Let me get some water. And all right. So first things first. I don't know if this is gonna fit on camera, but we'll get this guy out of the way. This is. It doesn't fit. Okay. Let's do this. I know on TikTok it looks. I did not set this screen up, so it kind of looks ugly. Forgive me, but we can at least see. Ancient Dragon version 1 with gold spray paint. Not bad, right? So I actually folded this a while back. This was my first Ancient Dragon fold, but I had been practicing a lot in order to fold and shape it. There's been some wear and tear, so the wings are like totally closed around it now, and it's not in the greatest shape, but I don't think it's bad. It's not terrible. I think I did a decent job on the head and at least the horns. And this paper is craft, not the nice craft, not Alua's craft. This is thick 100 GSM craft. So I definitely used the wrong paper. But because it is 1.2 meters big square, I was able to do it. Oh, wrong one. Let me update the real value of the paper. The paper is pretty cheap. I'm going to say it's $1, right? So we're just going to increase this by $1. Proceed value, that thing took me, the first time, it took me around like 15 hours to fold and shape. So let's calculate that. And that's 198 plus 1344. Okay, so that's our new numbers. That's a fun one. Now, because it's spray painted, it's actually pretty durable, like in terms of handling it. So that model I let kids hold on to and take pictures with at conventions, just because I know they can't damage it. Like you can literally throw it on the floor and it'll be fine. That thing's pretty tanky, and it's waterproof because I used a lot of spray paint. Something I did though that was cool, because at the time I was experimenting, is I did an effect, which you can still kind of see it a little bit. Is I did a base coat of black, and then I got a squirt bottle with water and coated this whole thing with water bubbles, and then I sprayed gold spray paint in one direction against those water bubbles, so it creates this like little textured effect throughout the whole thing. And some of them turned out better than others, but you kind of get a shadow of all of the little spray bubbles or droplets, and I thought it'd be cool, and it kind of makes it look aged, so that's why there's like a black tinge here. So it's a cool effect. Honestly, I should do this more often with some other models. I just don't actually spray paint stuff afterwards as much anymore, but I think it's a really cool effect. It also makes the origami waterproof. And that one I got to show to Satoshi Kamiya in person, because I happened to be holding it, carrying it into the origami convention when he was walking into it as well. So that's kind of cool. Awesome texture. Yeah. What's your opinion on black paper of gold, silver dry brush? Yeah, I think it's super cool. I think you can hear my opinion about it from Chris's last submission where he used a bronze. I think it's a awesome technique, and it's very visually appealing. I'm personally a big fan of dry brushing. I was a huge fan of Cage Chan back in the day when he was doing all that. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. It has its places, it can be overdone at times, and the hard thing about it is if you accidentally go over, it's hard to undo unless you just reset the whole black paint. But when it's done nicely, it's really nice, and you can draw out like more values because you have that contrast. So like with Chris's model, it really showed all the details in the face and the body, and it worked super, super well. It was really well done. So yeah, when it's done well, super awesome. I love it. I saw Jeremy do that once, something like that. Yeah, it's a really cool technique. Super cool. That's my ancient dragon. Yeah. It's actually got dust on it. It's kind of funny. Okay. Up next. This is also kind of a relic. This is the OBB waifu from the very first OBB competition. So this is the only time I've actually used my design for a competition, and this was the pilot episode basically, because now, if you know, I hire other designers and pay out other designers for their diagrams for that competition. So most recent was Bodo's Horse, which was a massively successful competition. But this was the very first one. This was when I was kind of exploring 22 and a half humans a bit more. Yeah, I gotta say, this isn't that great. Even the paper, it's like super sus, paintbrush acrylic white on black double tissue. But hey, it's a historical part of Origami by Boys. So it's kind of cool. And I made diagrams for it, which if you want those diagrams, you can find them on my website. I think the model itself is decent. It's kind of fun to fold. It's not too crazy. And there's been some really good folds of it from that competition. All right, next up, I didn't even calculate the tally. Okay, let me calculate. So I'm going to add nothing to the real value because that double tissue literally costs nothing. And then proceed value, it's like 2 hours maybe. So we're going to round down, plus 26, 48. I could have done that in my head. You're going to learn from this stream that I'm very bad at mental math as I'm adding these. Okay, here we have my design called Ophelia, which this is arguably a better looking human female model than the other one, I think. Especially the dress. I think the dress here looks really nice. I don't know if you can see the hand here. I kind of didn't give enough texture to the hand. But she's holding the dress. I really like this. This is one of my first box pleat human models. The first one you can find way back on my Instagram, and I made it out of printer paper, I think. And then I did one out of double tissue. But I actually did this as a collab for like the cover art origami of music artist. I don't know. It was way back when I was just first starting to get my name out, but named it Ophelia. Just went from it from there. Pretty cool. I think it's decent. It's stands on its own. Yeah. It's very inspired by Tadashi Mori. You can tell the dress is very similar to his angel design on how it kind of fans out. So these are some ancient Origami by Boys designs over here. Is killing when models generally accepted? Sometimes. It depends to the degree. It's been a little bit of a heated debate recently, just because there's some artists who really add paint and almost details to it, and I like it. But some people feel it's kind of becoming not origami. But I mean, I'm just saying, if it's done well, that's more important. They're still folding the paper. It's not for everyone, which is totally fine. I think it's cool. So if you can do it well, go for it. You know what I mean? Honestly, you can do anything. Like you can glue googly eyes to your origami, and if it's tasteful, then there you go, it works. You know, if it's not, then it's not. But if it is, hey, you did something different. Okay, so that's also double tissue, so nothing added to real value. That one didn't take very long either. I'm gonna say it took me 3 hours to shape. Shape and fold. Okay, so 39 plus 48, 87, slowly going up, increasing the gap in perceived value versus real value. I'm gonna go quickly here. Okay, I'm gonna do the next bit combined. So this area, this is kind of like the black and white paper collection. So here we actually have, I just completely destroyed the display stand. We have a bunny girl designed by Obelisk. And diagrams are from his book. So if you're interested, you can find out on Origami Shop. And then we have a plant turtle. And then we have two more. Okay, they might not fit on screen, so we'll do them slightly separately. Or maybe they do fit. Okay, plant turtle has no value, unfortunately. This is printer paper with Sharpie, so no real value, and perceived value, it didn't take very long to fold, so I'm not going to include it. But it's really cute, so I want to show it. Yeah, plant turtle. Sorry, plant turtle. What am I saying? Plant penguin. Oh my goodness. Plant penguin. Oops. This is not a turtle. This is one of my favorite penguins. You might also know that I really like Stuck into Folds penguin too. So those two penguins are some of my absolute favorites. This one's a little bit different. It's like a penguin chick. Okay, let's look at. Okay, this is another ancient voice design. Akame from Akame ga Kill, the anime. And this is an old model. I don't think it's that good, but you can kind of see how I've developed over the years. Right? There's a tie. What other model of mine has a tie? Oh, Head Empty, the award-winning origami design from Origami by Boyce that everyone wants a tutorial for. Yeah, so that's where the original tie kind of concept in a shirt came from me, is from this model. Now this one, the tie is absolutely cursed because I didn't know how to color change things correctly. So it's actually an inverted flap. It definitely doesn't have to be, but this structure is really weird. Also, there's like not enough flaps for the hair because I didn't understand how to pack flaps correctly. So it actually wraps on top. This is from one of my favorite shows, maybe not of all time, but one of my favorite animes. I think the character is great in general. That's why I designed her. Also sword. I was doing a lot of swords back then. Kind of fitting. Maybe I've always wanted to correct some of these designs. I thought it'd be fun. Maybe that'll be another stream. I just go and correct the crease patterns of some of these designs, and then maybe I fold it. But this is like original, like waifu type origami. I'll say this one took like 5 hours. Here we have Housemaid by Obelisk as well. Diagrams also in his book. This is actually a glue stick double tissue that I made for Bodo's paper competition or video competition. So Bodo held a origami video / YouTube competition a few years ago, and I won that competition. And so I actually have something that I'm going to show next. That was my prize for winning that competition, but this is what I won it with. Isn't that crazy? You can watch the video I made showing how I did glue stick double tissue back in the day, and honestly you can tell the color separation is pretty decent compared to this one, right? So this is normally what you get if you just do black on white, and then this was glue stick. Do I recommend using this technique? Absolutely not. There's a lot better techniques, like even just using spray adhesive is probably better. But yeah, this is the glue stick double tissue. It's still holding up today, right? I don't think the fold is actually that great. I kind of made everything too thin and then didn't do any contouring to the body. And then the really bad knees, right? But hey, glue stick double tissue, you know? This one is the bunny girl. I think I already mentioned it. This is actually a Unryu with 2 layers, I think, of tissue. It's some type of triple paper, just to get the color change a bit better. There's still better techniques than doing triple here. This is like way too thick for this model, but it's kind of cool. This was one of the first like diagrammed waifus that was out there in a book, I think, like a complex one at least. So interesting, huh? All right, let me try to organize these so I don't make a mess. Okay, so I'm just gonna abstract. This took probably around 4 hours, so like 4 hours, 4 hours, and then 5 hours. So a total of what is that? 13. 13 hours. Yeah, we'll just say that. I have no idea how I displayed this one. All right, we're just gonna say it's like that. All right, for real value, I'll from all of them we skipped a bit. I'm just gonna add $1 for all of them. Perceived value, we're gonna calculate that. 13 times. Okay, 171. Okay. So the perceived value more so is like, how much time am I spending folding origami for all these? That's a lot of time. Oh, yo, we got some origami folders that potentially live close to each other. Yo, Shangnara and Siddharth Origami. If y'all can meet up, that'd be crazy. That'd be so cool. What time is it in the US? It's 11 at night for me. So it's pretty late. Yeah, thanks, Jared. Okay. Oh no, 254 kilometers away. Yeah. Guys, don't leak your personal information on the internet publicly. But that's unfortunate. That's pretty far. Sad. Yeah, glue stick, double tissue. Revamping old designs sound cool. Yeah, I know, right? Mark, we can go through all the inefficiencies of some of my old designs and like laugh it off and then try to fix it. I think that'd be super cool. That's a weird turtle. One of those turtles from Antarctica. Yeah, exactly. It's the black and white turtles. When's the next OBB competition? I don't know. So I'm trying to work on other projects at the moment. So I've kind of stopped looking for the next one. But I'm just kind of see if a design that I think really, really works, like that's really special, like as special as like the Bodo horse, then I'll probably work to make another one. But for now, it's a little bit on hiatus. But I'll start cooking it up maybe next year, or if I find time, we'll have to see. I know I was like the only ongoing competition for 2+ years, and then it's a lot. It's a lot of energy. So trying to find coordinate everything, but it's really cool. I'd like to keep it going, but okay, Simon. If I ever go, I'll let you know. Oh, sweet, cool. It's only 4 in Australia. Oh, awesome. Yeah, Australia. Shout out Australia. There's some origami there. There's OSME happening in July 28th, I think. That's the origami convention in Australia. I don't know if it's in Melbourne or Sydney or some other city, but Binshu, you should look into OSME if you want to attend an origami convention. It's more science and math with origami, but you'll still get to meet some cool people like Robert Lang, plant psychologist, whoever goes. This is gonna be a pretty big one because it hasn't happened in a while. But yeah, Australia, go check it out. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. Okay, so the thing that's next is, okay, speaking of Bodo, so I won that Bodo competition, right? What was my prize? Oh, this is one of my prized origami possessions. This is, yes, spots are natural color change. Stripes on tail, natural color change. The Bodo signature is Sharpie, not color change, but yeah, the Jaguar. So I won a Bodo Jaguar, and this thing is so cool. So yeah, I've had this. It also stands on its own. Actually insane. So yeah, I first received this and I just couldn't stop staring at it and just noticing the craftsmanship that Bodo had. And this is like Bodo 5 years ago, right? So his craftsmanship's improved even more. You might have seen I featured him a lot in last year's Origami convention because I got him out there as a special guest. But even back then, this was like crazy color change Bodo, right? It's actually insane to be on the 3 limbs as well in the stand. Like it's a dynamic pose. Actually crazy. I just looking at how he shaped things very carefully. Yeah, the craftsmanship blew my mind. This was nuts. Yeah, it's cool. Like this small little ridge for the shoulder bones. Like, come on, it's so cool, right? Like this is, oh my goodness. So yeah, perceived value, priceless, right? Priceless. I can't assign a value to this. I'm not going to add any value. It's Bodo's model, and I didn't purchase this one. So last stream I showed models I purchased from other people. This one I won. You know, I won this for free, right? Oh, okay. Maybe I'll add the value of YouTube revenue from that video, which is not going to be a lot, but let me find out really quick, and then that'll be our price, because that's technically how much value that is, and that's a real value too. So that's what I'll sign it. But no, honestly, like this, people could offer me so much money, and I would never sell it. Yeah, this is something that just can't be bought. Oh, okay. This video made $26. All right, so we're gonna add 20. Okay, $26.75. I'll round up for this one. So I rounded down for everything else. 27 plus. You know, not bad for over, how long ago was this? This was published in 2020. Really? 2020? I thought it was... All right. 4 years, $26. We're cooking. Oh, man. Yeah, that's the life of some YouTube videos. It'd be like that. Absolutely insane. Yeah, so true. Eric, what convention should I go to on West Coast if I don't want to wait for 2025 Peacock? Oh, wait for 2025 Peacock. I don't know. I don't think there's any West Coast ones happening until then. Chicago was this year, so there's not that next year. You could, if you want to attend a small one, I don't know how close you are to East Bay Origami Convention, but you might have seen the video of that one. That one's so fun. So if you want like your little teaser for Peacock and you can make it out there without breaking the bank so that you can still come to Peacock, check that one out. East Bay Origami Convention. That's a good one. Yeah, EBOC. So EBOC is in spring. It'll be around March. Go check that out. That'll be a good one. I don't know if I'll be there next year, but you should be there. You might meet Steve, so that'd be cool. All right, enough of this awesome Jaguar. Isn't that crazy? If you do sell it for $2 billion. Okay, $2 billion. I would sell it, because then I can raise economy for origami, or like solve world hunger or something like that. I don't know. Where's Peacock going to be? I think it's Sacramento. I think that's what it is. So it's not too far away from where it was, which was San Jose or San Francisco last year. Okay, so it's already been an hour. I'm going to kind of speed run, or I'm gonna selectively choose some of these ones and then those ones so that we can get to the books and finish it off. And then if there's anything else that I missed that I think would be fine adding to the collection value, then I'll do that. But I don't want to waste too much time. Okay, our first one that's going to bump the value quite a bit. Samurai V3. Boom. This is the first Samurai V3. And man, I folded a lot of these samurais. Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. So now I showed a square twist samurai last time, which is a variation of the V4. I've sold the square twist. That one was a lot more than what I sold this guy for. This one, actually, let's have y'all guess in the chat. What do you think this one sold for? Keep in mind, it's not as much as the other samurais. But let's have a quick guess. How much do you think this sold for? Yeah, this has sold for a range. So I'll tell you a little bit of the story after I reveal what the last one sold for, basically. But yeah, there's a few of these floating out there, including, if y'all are familiar with offline TV, there was one as decoration in their podcast studio for a while because I mailed one to Skara. I didn't sell it to them. It was just like a opportunity to get out there, and I guess they liked enough that they used it as a stream decoration for like 3 years. I don't know if it's still there. It probably isn't, but hey, kind of cool, right? Peacock in Sacramento. Yep. So you're going to need a sentimental value tax to add to some models, or maybe historical value. Yo, that's true. That is true. So I have some other folds from like conventions, like that I'm not including here. Like this one I got from John Tucker. I don't know how many of you are familiar with John, but if you've been around since like Flickr origami days, you'll definitely know John. And if you've seen some of my vlogs, you'll know John. And if you're based, you know who John Tucker is. But he gave me this last convention. Very cool. It's a paw print. This would be, high sentimental value. These are things from friends, right? That are just super cool. I don't have it here, but I have like a Robin folded by Beth Johnson. And yeah, I have like other things that would have really high sentimental value, but not including it here. Yo, Muhammad, thanks for the sub. Let's go. Okay, we have some guesses. I'll go through them now and reveal. Samurai V3. Hey, it's the best. Yeah, it's a nice one, honestly. It's good. It's cool. I bet I could fold another one now and make it look really good. Low key. 1500, 1000, 450. Close. 1505. Head is a bit weird. Yes. Wired? Weird. Yeah, so this is the first one. So it wasn't as good of a head. If you've seen the recent V4 and the square twist, it's a lot better. But this is the first DLC shaping one. So this is when I was first trying faces. Not very good compared to what you've seen me do recently, right? But this is where the start was. This was the start. 1000 to... Okay, you have vlogs. Yes, go check them out. Convention vlogs. I've got quite a few of them. There should be a playlist. Definitely go check it out. Love that. The paw print's really cute, right? Okay, so this... I'll stop stalling. This, I sold V3 for $500. So Mark was really close there with $450. Mark was the closest. Is the structure of the third and fourth similar? Parts of it are, and parts of it are not. So V4, it's shifted. Things are asymmetrical, and it's more efficient of a design for what flaps there are, like the details. But not too much has changed about it. Like the hat is the exact same. The helmet's the same in V4. The way you shape the legs is the same. The chest looks almost the same. And then the shoulder pads are different. You don't have to do this weird scale stuff. Working on two-headed dragon, almost done. Oh, awesome, man. Yo, I'm glad you're folding that. That sounds great. We're going to take a look at the original two-headed dragon soon too, actually. $500. Yeah. So, and let me tell you the story about these, because this was the model that actually got me starting to sell models and try to find what value I could actually sell them for. 873 plus 500. Well, let me actually just do 10. 873 plus. Okay, so this is 11. I could have done this in my head. Wow. 13. And then. All right. That's our updated amounts. Big boost in the ratio of real value. So, oh, thank you, Mark. Thank you. Goated. Yeah, that's my mod right there. Shout out to Mark. Go check him out. Marco Origami on Instagram. Mark, you can plug your Instagram as a link if you want to. So I didn't always sell these for 500, and if you saw the other ones, I sold them for like way more. The first samurai I ever sold was a V3, and it only sold for like $80. I sold it to a friend. I originally had it listed at 100, and that was my friend discount. So the first one sold for 80, and then I slowly increased the price every single time I sold one, and it was like, then I sold the one for the 100. Then I sold 150, then 250. And then I was like, okay, maybe I'll just double. And I sold a few for 500, like maybe three or four, something like that. Not too many. And then at that point, like I was kind of done with samurais. And then you saw recently I did the square twist samurai. And I think you can tell my foldings level has increased a lot since this fold and square twist. Square twist was 1,500, right? So that was like the biggest jump ever. Literally $1,000 jump. And then I've sold stuff for even more. But it all started very small. I mean, I consider $80 a lot still. Like I thought that was a lot at the time. I just didn't know how much it could go. So this was like the experiment. This is how I started. Started at small. Hopefully this is like motivational if you want to start selling your models. It's not easy at all, but you can start small and just like slowly increase it, and you'll learn a lot of stuff about like how to find the people who will actually spend the money to buy it. You know, you search for your audiences, you search your target audience of who's actually going to sell, a whole lot of like business stuff and sales stuff, like how to actually sell, close, ship, stuff like that. I think it's valuable skills. So that's like one of the most valuable skills Origami's taught me for like real life. You don't learn that in school. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So samurai always has a special place in my heart, especially the V3. That's kind of where it started it all. That's how it's funded these microphones and cameras, right? Okay. Let's put them back. You know, let's keep on. I'll do this one next. Speaking of origins, this is the first samurai V1. The first fold of the V1. Crazy. I've held on to this because I made sure to. And look, it has no face. I didn't know how to do a face under the hat because I didn't understand packing or rivers or circles or box pleat or anything. This was purely done from test folding individual parts and then trying to make it work. And you can tell it's also spray painted. I think it's a dark gray. The paper actually is originally green. Maybe we can, yeah, there we go. It's a green piece of butcher paper. Free paper. So no real value. I got it from my school. It's like the stuff they hang up to like write stuff on, that teachers like use, or like the covered tables. Free paper, 1 meter big. Very first samurai ever. Crazy. Crimson red spray paint. That spray paint's more expensive than the paper, probably. Yeah, insane. And this is the one I made the video on. Maybe it's my fifth YouTube video. Actually insane. This is Origami by Boys history right here. Now, if you thought the V3 head was weird, this head's weirder. But this also landed me some connections because I think the pose I took made it look cool. But I think this fold actually predates my Instagram account. So the Instagram account with like 14,000 followers, I think this was before I even made that. And if I did make it, it had like 20 maybe, or like 10. Maybe this increased it from 10 followers to 20 followers. Like it was a different time back then. This is crazy. Yeah, more ancient than the ancient. Actually, this is more ancient than the ancient dragon, I think. I'm pretty sure actually. Yeah, it's actually crazy. So perceived value, you know, I'm not going to increase this a ton. I think this took me like 10 hours to do. I guess that is a lot. Okay. But like, man, sentimental value would be insane on this one. So not adding anything for real value. Cause yeah, free paper. You know, the paper was high school. I did Ancient Dragon in college. So this definitely predates Ancient Dragon by far. Hard paper is so annoying to work with. Yeah, exactly. But like, that's all I had at the time and I still made it work. You know what I'm saying? So you can make it work too. Ain't that right? Did you fold the samurai in school? I don't think I worked on it in school. It was just all after school. I brought it home. I don't think I had time in school. I was not. Yeah, I had to work hard. Yeah. Can origami be a career option? Maybe, but it's probably easier to go to college and study a normal thing then look, you might make more money doing the lowest paying job than origami for a really long time unless you like have a really good path. So, you know, I've done this, I could talk about this a lot. It's really hard. It's probably about as hard as trying to make money off YouTube, which again, you can tell that video I made that I mentioned, 4 years, $20, right? That's not very good paying. So it takes a lot. It takes some strategy, but it can work. Maybe if I make it, then I will have more experience letting y'all know. You know, origami's not my full-time career right now. It's doing better, but it's slow, right? It's slow. So maybe eventually, but at this point, it's like it's not guaranteed by any means. It's like very, very low success chance. So as much as I'd like it to be a career, it's not a very good one. But you can treat it as a career as long as you have a backup plan that you're working on at the same time. So if you just you can do 2 jobs at once. It's basically what I'm doing. Hey, shout out Mark. That's the Samurai version 1 video. Let's go. Peter Whitehouse, poor paper, if that's all you have, is remarkably useful and forces you to fold carefully. Yes, I attribute a lot of my shaping skills to having worked with this kinds of paper for a long time, right? Only printer paper, only free butcher paper, free craft paper, free tissue papers. And whatever I could do for free, glue stick, you know what I mean? Whatever you have around you, if you use it correctly and you're like trying to learn, trying to use the like get the max out of this paper, hey, you can do it. And the next example is basically, you know, what I've developed in skill over time since this samurai using free paper. This one's a little big. It won't exactly fit. Tower guard. You might have seen this short, but it is made from craft paper. Once again, this is packaging craft paper. So I received this paper because it was wrapping other things. And I think it was actually wrapping other paper. So it was like the free stuff they used to package the paper. But it was big. And this is actually thinner, or I think it's the same thickness as like printer paper, but it's like a little bit more durable. Pretty cool, right? Like it's okay. It's not the greatest thing in the world by any means, but I mean, I folded a dude holding a spear with it, and he's got a cape. He's got shoulder armor. He's got leg armor. That's actually kind of weird, but kind of cool because it's 3D, and he stands on his own. So yeah, if you can really like maximize, like again, we showcase some fancy papers. I do all the time with my Legion Mulberry, Origami dough. You don't need any of that stuff to get good at origami. In fact, a lot of times, if you have it too early, you're not even gonna be able to use it to its max. So, you know, using what you have, regular origami paper, that's even fancy compared to this free origami. Like whatever you can get, you make it work. That's the lesson of the story of this. I don't know. I'm just yapping, but hopefully that kind of, I don't know, if there's anything you can take away is you can just use the resources you have around you, and you can use them really well. And this is like concrete proof. Okay, now obviously the real value of this one is 0 because it's free. Perceived value, this one took me a little bit of time. I'll say this was an 8-hour project. I'll do 104. Okay, you know what? Maybe I'll add to the real value as like, how much did the video make? I don't think that video made any money. So let me check. Maybe I won't do this, but for some of them, maybe. I technically did that. Let's see. Free origami paper. Where is this? Okay, this was 2022. This has made $1.81. Oh, lovely. Okay. We're going to call that $2. So I don't know why I did that on my calculator. $3.75. Amazing, right? Okay, so now think about it though. I got this for free. It's made me $2. That's infinite percent ROI. You know what I'm saying? You divide by 0, you get... You can't, but it's like approaches infinity. So like, yeah, I'm just kidding. But yeah. That's funny. I folded around 60% of my folds using craft. If a model is a good model, then it will look good in craft. Hey, yep, there you go. You know what I mean? You just use what you can use. I have a friend, Mark Thompson. I mentioned him last time. He used wax paper for like all his crazy complex insects and made them look good because he could fold well with it. So it's more about the folder than it is about like the folds are important. It's more important than like the paper you use. You know what I'm saying? Fancy paper is fun though. If you're able to, I definitely recommend it. It's gonna help with something. There is good and less good or bad paper choices. That does exist, but like, you can just make it work. You know what I'm saying? Like the stream. Hey, thank you, Shagnara. Let's go. My bro folded Ancient Dragon 3 years ago. He was 12. Yeah, crazy. I folded Ancient Dragon when I was like 18. So hey, if your brother keeps going, you know, he could do pretty good. I'll go like for the math joke. Thank you. I read the Wonka before. Hey, let's go. Here, I still have so much of that baking paper he gave me. That's so funny. Yeah, Jared knows Mark. All right. Last one from this group. This is a double tissue. This used to be one of my favorite models. Just because I thought the concept was cool and I was competing. So we took a look at the Origami Death Battle, right? I think it was like the very first Origami Death Battle is when I folded this for the second round. It's called Invention of the Crane. And it was supposed to represent a historical time. Now, I think it's more fitting that this is like Sadaka, She was the Japanese girl who was folding paper cranes for peace during war times. I think it's like arguably that this could be fitting. It's a girl folding a crane, right? And it's naturally color changed too. So that's pretty cool. Actually, I've sold this one. I totally forgot. I've sold this model. I was like, where's the original one? This is the refold. And I think the original one is actually better than the refold. So the refold, I tried to do a face profile and it just didn't work too well. It's not too bad or anything, but the first one looked really nice, just being clean. Anyone want to guess how much this was? But this is cool. Like, this is how the color change works. Really inefficient design, but it's cool, right? It's cool. Arguably, it's cool. Arguably cool. And it doesn't really stand on its own because it doesn't have to stand, but it stands on its own. Now, I didn't sell this for too much. So this is like between when I started folding or selling the Samurais version 3s. So it's like in that period. Now that I think about it, person I sold it to got a pretty good deal. But they've been a repeat client of mine, I guess I should say. And I respect them a lot. Like, they are someone I'm so glad to have their origami in their possession because they care about art a lot. I won't say their names or anything, right? But like, this person's awesome. Basically, the owner of this model is awesome. They own this. They own a Samurai, and they own a DPA. Pretty cool. Am I from Japan? No, I'm from America, but my background is Hong Kong Chinese. But I don't speak any Cantonese at all. So I'm American, you know. How often do you sell your pieces? So during this time, I was more into getting my pieces in galleries and then really pushing like online sales where I could. So at that time, I was actually selling a fair amount, like maybe once every few months, or multiple in a month, and then like a little break. I've since stopped trying to sell models because it was taking too much time. So I was actually selling too many Samurai, but it was to the point where I either sell them for insane prices, which it is kind of insane now. I think I've listed at $4,000 if someone wants one, because I wanted this. I wanted to do something else. I wanted to fold something else, work on my personal skills, personal origami skills, and other stuff. So I haven't sold one in a fair bit of time. I had some offers, but again, they were too low that I didn't accept them. So I haven't sold anything this year. I think my last thing was a DPA last year, or it was either the Square Twist Samurai or a DPA. I can't remember. I think that was either last year or almost 1.5 years ago. Yeah, I'm trying multiple avenues. I don't want to just sell models, but I might get back to it because I've gotten a lot better, and I think it'll be easier to sell them, easier to get into galleries because I just know more now. Okay, 500, 200, 180. Mark is close on these. Eric, you're really close too. 300, 350. You guys are close. You're close. Is there a website / Discord where you can get up-to-date information on upcoming or online events? Yeah, Mark, dude, you're working so hard to stream. Yo, thank you so much, man. Can you drop the Origami Darren Discord in there? And Kami Nuku, you need to be 13 or older to join. I assume you might be if you're in Discords already, but just be respectful. There's a info and news channel, and generally the upcoming events are posted there. If you want to see American ones, you can go to origamiusa.org, and you can look at all the conventions and events for Origami USA on there. Otherwise, if you're in a different country, you can look up if there's an organization in your country, but you can also just ask in the Discord. It'll probably pop up. 230, Dingleberry, you are the closest. So I will reveal now. I know I'm stalling a lot, right? Storytelling. 250. I sold this for 250. I actually totally forgot until now that I had actually sold this. So that's kind of cool. Because I was just thinking, oh, where's the original one? I'll pull out the original one if it's somewhere. 250. Which at the time, I thought it was crazy. Like at the time, that was the most I'd sold anything for. It was this. I sold a samurai and this to I think the same person for 250. Yeah, cool model. Cool model, right? All right. Okay, I'll show some of the others. I'll show some of the other stuff on that table just because I think it's cool. These are relics of the past. Another thing I did for a comp. This I lost to Bodo. It was a 4-1. I did 4 knights, 1 paper. This is a very tiny Cade Chan fiery dragon. And I was a big fan of Cade Chan back in the day. Again, I had at this point, I had maybe 70 followers. And I took a really good photo of this on a paintbrush, and I got reposted by Cade Chan. And I was like, oh my goodness, this famous origami guy reposted my photo. Small stories, right? Crazy. Different times, different times. Okay, we're going to go to the final shelf, which is over there. Nice. Oh, where do I sell my models? I sell my models on my website and in galleries. So most of them I sold in galleries. I've only sold a few through my website. Galleries are definitely the way to go because the people that attend are more likely to people who actually want to buy stuff and have a budget for it. But you can just go to my website. It's linked somewhere. Okay, we're gonna do these together, I guess. So you might have heard me throw around DPA a lot. You might not know what DPA is. It stands for Dragon Plate Armor, and it originated from I think from this one. Well, technically it's from the dragon first, but this. Sorry, okay. I'm gonna show the sequence of the 3 that started those, and then it became a series. So I'm a big fan of those series of Monster Hunters and Skyrim, the game. Skyrim, there's a dragon plate armor in that game. It's the heavy path. It's the last one. So this was the Dragon Slayer, and it's a guy, and then a dragon head. And originally, it was supposed to be oh, he slayed this dragon. The dragon head was supposed to be on the floor, like a severed dragon head, but it's kind of more oh, the spirit of a dragon slayer because the connection is just in his back sticking out. And again, this I still didn't understand correctly how to do box plate design or how to pack a 2-in-1 concept like this. And this is level shifted too, so I just didn't know. I just wanted to combine them together somehow. But this is the result of that. Kind of cool. At the time, it was really cool, especially for my skill level, which was not the greatest, but it was developing. Pretty neat concept, right? But you might be wondering, oh, where does that dragon head belong to? And where's the knight? So that one actually came second. I think the first was the dragon itself. No, actually, that might have been the first one. I think I only designed a head. I can't remember. Well, here's the dragon, which some people are folding the new dragon, 2-headed dragon, which structurally is a lot better than this one. This one has so much wasted space and the legs are terrible. But it looks cool still. It's got some spines in the back. The new one has spines in the back too. But this head is pretty neat. Big teeth. Horns. Kind of sus eyes. But a lot of it's the same in the new one. Just because it looks kind of cool. It's just a lot more efficient. 2-headed dragon. And this was also for the Origami Death Battle when I was participating back in the day. I think after I submitted this, the topic was dragons. I think after I submitted this, the person I was against quit. Or they didn't submit anything. Which is fine. I kind of went pretty hard. Pretty cool. And then, this one actually has a tutorial. Actually, both of these have tutorials now, just not the Dragon Slayer. This is the Dragon Knight, which then the Dragon Plate Armor was thus inspired by. And the most recent one, the Dragon Plate Sword and Shield, has a similar helmet as this guy. It's a little different, but it was inspired by trying to rework this helmet into a new design. This helmet is so inefficient. I think it's like 20 grid units vertically and 16 horizontally. It's really bad, trust me. But I made it look cool somehow. There's a tutorial if you want to fold this guy. I think it's still cool. It's not a great design, but it's a cool design. You know what I mean? He's got like a dragon head kind of as a chest plate. Kind of cool, right? You can do a lot with the arm shaping. Like, not bad. Not bad at all. So these ones I didn't sell. I also made shorts for them. I'm pretty sure the videos made zero money. Actually, Joe, just kidding. The tutorials, do we add the tutorials in real value? What do y'all think? I think this tutorial actually did pretty well. And same with the two-headed dragon. We can check. I don't know. Dragon head's crazy. DPA, dragonfly. Yeah. I like the old two. That's what people were saying. They like the old two-headed dragon better. If you saw in person, you probably wouldn't, is the thing. I really like the new two-headed one, my opinion. But I will say the old one is pretty cool. I mean, if you want to fold the old... I think if I posted the crease pattern somewhere. It's either in the Discord or it's on my Instagram. It's somewhere out there, but you can try it. The head is kind of the same. It's the crease pattern is partially incorrect, actually. But yeah, the structure is like really inefficient. And then open seams in the middle of the legs, which is not good. Add the tutorial money. All right. So we'll add that for the real. We'll do that for the perceived too. Might as well. Okay, so let me calculate. These two have tutorials. We'll use the tutorial as the value. Let me do this guy. So this guy took me like 15 hours to fold. So I'll put that in for perceived value. 198. And then the cost of this paper is, what is this? Wenzhou. It's like $3 a sheet. So 8. Okay, so that's for this guy. The old two-headed dragon is in the OBB website. Okay, cool. I think both are cool, but the new one seems a little bit better. I'm glad people still like the old one though, and that they like the new one too. I think both of them are pretty cool. Two-headed dragon, right? They saw their opponent and faded into the bushes. Yeah, that it kind of was like that. Okay, let me see the tutorial. It probably still isn't that much. Let's see. Dragon Knight. Oh man, there's so many. Okay, do I just do the... How do I count this? So the Dragon Knight I did in 5 videos, I think. Let me try to get a quick estimate of all these. Okay. 13 plus 14. I should keep track of it. Okay, 13 plus. I'm actually curious. I've never checked these stats before. Okay, plus 5. In terms of like counting how much these videos have made. So like when I posted these videos, I didn't have anywhere close to the amount of viewers I have now. So a lot of it is just built up over time. Over the past like 5 years. plus 3. Okay, cool. So Dragon Knight, $40. Look at that. Or $39. Not bad at all. Can't complain. And then the two-headed dragon. That's a newer tutorial. And I did this one in 2 videos. Is that right? No, 3. 3 videos. The first one cooked a little bit. Okay. Okay. And then part 3. Oh, they also had a video a short that popped up. I'll include the short too. The short's not actually going to include that much, but it did get a lot of views. So there's that short where I like twisted him, right? Is it this one?
Dragons.
Nope, it's not that one. It is. Oh, do I count the Dragons Explained one too? No, I'll just include this one. It's got 300,000 views. All right, so here's some context, guys, if you want to know how much YouTube pays. This YouTube short got 300,000 views. The revenue was $15. Yeah, so not a lot for shorts. But in total, the two-headed dragon has made $71. Not bad. Not bad at all. $71. There we go. Hey, thanks for joining the stream, Binchu. Always, yes, nice having you chatting and asking questions. You had some great questions. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Glad you got to see it. And this will be a video later, so don't worry. You'll be able to watch all the rest of it in an edited format later. Thanks for joining. It's been 99 minutes. Yeah, okay, the stream is going pretty long. Love the crease pattern display stands. Yeah, the crease pattern display stands are pretty fun, right? I should bring these back. They cost a lot to make, low-key. But I could just buy myself a laser engraver. I almost got sponsored by one. Like, I just don't know what happened. They were supposed to send it to me and I'd make videos, but fell through. All good. Maybe I'll get one and then I can make them on my own. That'd be really cool. All right. See ya. Thanks for joining in. Oh, let me check the TikTok stream. Is it still going? Oh, people are talking. Sorry, guys, on TikTok. I missed y'all. I don't know if any of y'all are still here. There are. Maybe. I have no idea. It doesn't tell me much. But thanks, Zany, for sending emotes. Thank you, JD, for joining in. Finneban, we are reviewing my origami collection. This is part 2. So this is a smaller part, but we'll do part 3 with the final. I have it like an actual case. Really good. Latveria, best L2 is $20. I have to think. Zany, thanks, amazing. Yo, thank you, man. Thanks for. Did you send bits? Or I'm not sure what these are, but thank you. I think that's mods. Wow. All right, thank you. Very cool. Instagram. Sorry, everyone there. Join on YouTube. It's hard. It's Instagram. Live streaming needs to up their game, low key. Okay. Back to YouTube. Y'all are the mains. Eric, what do you think is a good one of your models to fold after Phoenix V2? Oh, after Phoenix V2? That's a good question. Have you folded the DPA yet? I think that's a good one. The Dragonplate armor. Just fold like the base one from the tutorial. It's really cool. What's up, Mark? Did I miss anything? Not really. We just added the video revenues of these guys as the real value cost. But two-headed dragon, we showcased two-headed dragon, dragonite, and dragon slayer, which those were as a precursor to the dragon plate armor. Oh yeah, and if anyone's wondering, that's the crease pattern for the two-headed dragon, the original one. It's actually very simple. All right, we actually have 3 more models. This one is probably the most expensive material value. This is my anglerfish. And it's made with Arches watercolor paper. And the Arches is white, but as the natural color change part, I gold leafed the lantern. This is fun. I really like this design. Not everyone thinks it looks like an anglerfish, but I don't care. I like it. Diagrams have been made. They'll come out sometime with the Origami Dan book. Stay tuned for those. I know it's been like 4 years, but that book is happening sometime and the diagrams will be released there. But this is a cool design. This is probably one of my better 22.5 designs I've done. I think it just looks aesthetic and it's like really 3D. And then this one is like rock solid because it's wet folded. So I think it's pretty cool. Material cost was $8. This Arches watercolor is not cheap. Actually, let me just include that for the perceived as well, because I think that's valid. Keep it easy. When did I fold this? I folded this 2021, I think. 2021, maybe 2020. I think 2021. Sad memories. It's totally a fish. Thank you. Yeah. So the other story is I was actually on a TV show. It was an art competition, a paper art competition on Discovery Plus TV. I flew out to Hollywood, went on the set, did all that, had to film interviews afterwards for the TV show. The judges, I thought they liked mine, but my critique was they didn't recognize it enough for what it was, which I think partially it's like they didn't know what an anglerfish was, or didn't. I'm gonna say they didn't know what an anglerfish looks like. 'Cause I think this looks like an anglerfish, or vice versa. This doesn't look like an anglerfish. Womp womp, right? But whatever. Regardless, I like this design. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, there was like not enough time for me to do like a samurai. Oh well, right. Sad memories. That's okay. There's some cool people I met from that show. I still talk to them through the internet sometimes and check out their art. So fun experience, and I got paid for it. Even though I didn't win, I still got paid, so that's cool. But yeah, kind of a low blow to the feels because I had whatever. But cool origami, right? Cool origami. I've tried to sell these before. Unfortunately, I never sold one. This is back in the days when I was selling stuff for like $100. It's not for sale anymore, by the way. It's cool. But if one of y'all want it, send me an offer. Yeah. All right. Last 2 pieces, and then we're gonna speed run my books and try to find how much those cost. Here we have 2 cool models. This one is kind of special. This is the pirate. Oh, maybe that's what we vote for in the 20,000 subscriber milestone that people wanted a tutorial for, because people wanted a tutorial for this pirate for a while, and I didn't make one. One, because there's actually a big mistake in this design. The fact that there's no neck and that the arms are in the wrong spot. So this is actually easily fixed. I just need to like tweak the crease pattern a little bit to make sure it works. But this helped win me the silver medal at IO 2021, I think. That's the International Origami Olympiad. So it was at the time the most prestigious, and probably still at this time, the most prestigious origami competition. And this was for my own design battle. He's got a flintlock. He's got another one at his waist. The back is technically closed. He's got a cool hat, a tri-bill hat, you know, luscious hair, thick beard, a cool apparel, and little rag belt thing, and a peg leg. What more could you want from a pirate, right? Maybe a hook hand. I was trying, but I couldn't get the fit. But a very cool design, right? So maybe we'll set this one up as the tutorial, and if I do make a tutorial for it, I'll redesign it to fix the problems it has, and that'd be super neat. Peter, love the curvefuls, good control the wet thick paper. Goldie, lovely. Yeah, I think it was like just enough extra for the paper, and it looks nice. Here comes the firepower. Yeah, this one's cool. Literal firepower. Like, I think the flintlock, actually, I did a pretty decent job on it. The fingers are a little bit short, but it works for the size of... Actually, it's not too bad. It's kind of bad. Don't look at the fingers too much, but it's okay. Maybe I'll revise that in the... if I redo the design. But this would make a decent tutorial, I think. It's not too hard to fold. The pistol maybe a little bit is, but I'll keep the same easy structure that I made a tutorial for already, so it won't be too bad. And then speaking of that pistol, this one was the other one that it was like the inspiration, and this is like a cowboy, and he's actually more like a space cowboy. I was originally trying to make a character from Warframe, which is a mech, and I couldn't quite get it to look like that. So I started with the hat, and that's how that hat works. But it turned into... It also has the no neck issue, as well as the arms in the wrong spot issue. But what's cool is it has hair and some guns, right? That's cool. That's cool. Boom. Pretty neat. And then, like, the legs have, like, these real flowy, like, cowboy... You know, these are some types of thing that's supposed to help with horse riding. I think this type of pants. I forget what it's called, but and then because it was a space cowboy, it also has a great sword on the back for no reason, right? Well, no, it's a space cowboy. There's definitely a reason to use a giant sword in space. I don't know, but it's cool, right? It's cool. Pretty cool. Very random, but kind of cool. Here's the crease pattern. It's kind of cursed. It's technically based on a 32 grid, but at the same time not. I was like really playing around with level shifters for some reason. I don't know. When I look back at this design, I'm like, why did I do it this way? But aesthetically, it looks pretty cool. And it's big. Cowboy Bebop style. A little bit, I guess, except still, I don't really know the need for a sword with guns, but maybe. Okay, how does this stand up like that? Okay, so these two probably took much longer. This pirate, let's say both of them took 20 hours, 40 hours total. And then the paper was Wenjo, so that's $10. So proceed value is this, and then real value is just plus 10, like that. Chaps, yeah, okay, that's what the pants are called. Thank you. Okay, so that's it for the origami models collection. I think we added a fair bit, decent chunk. Not as crazy as the first case. That first case is crazy. But certainly not nothing. Guns run out of bullets, swords... Oh, you know, that's a great point, Jared. When you run out of bullets in space, sword. Also, bullets you can't fire a bullet in space. There's no air, so you can't ignite the I forget what, the back of the bullet. The fire pin strikes and lights the gunpowder to launch a bullet, right? The case. You can't do that in space, but you can swing a sword in space. Also, because there's no friction or something, right? No gravity. If you get that sword going, oh, it's doing a lot of damage. That's a lot of mass, a lot of velocity, and nothing stopping it. Okay, let's do this first. We're gonna do the drop the Jaguar. We're gonna do the first row of books. That might be the only row of books we do. Maybe we'll do the second. The second row is kind of small and it's like really old books. We'll see if we have time. But if we need to omit the second shelf, that's totally fine, I think. There's some good books in the second shelf, but I received those as like some were hand-me-down / like really on sale, and then others are like convention books. So we will, we'll just avoid this for now because we're running out of time. Okay. Let's start with a shout out to the grandfather of complex origami, the master Akira Yoshizawa-sama, Japan's greatest origami master. Absolutely, probably the most important person for origami as we know it. This is the book put together of some of his works, the foreword from Robert Lang, and tributes. This is a Tuttle book, so maybe the value is printed in the book. Maybe not. Time to Google. Okay, so I actually have Origami Shop open. I don't know if this book is sold there because it's a Tuttle book, but let's see. €40. We're gonna say that's $40. Oh no, that is not that's not the same book. Never mind. Let's look for this separately. It might be on Amazon now. $20 on Amazon. Okay. What's up, Shang Nara? You're back from lunch. How was your lunch? We're on books now. We're going over books. I'm going to try to do this pretty quickly, but... All right, that's one. Next one. Oh, some other classics. All right, we got Advanced Origami by Michael LaFosse. This is how I learned about treating paper and also about origami dough. And there's also some diagrams in this book, but a lot of it was the techniques and paper preparation. And that's what got me to first trying to wet fold and to make my own double tissue. So this is a very pivotal book in my personal journey. Let's see how much this is on Origami Shop. It's another Tuttle book, so it might not be on there. Nope. Can y'all hear my keyboard, by the way? Does it sound nice? $15. Okay. And then this next one is actually another classic. Peter Engel, Origami Odyssey. If you haven't heard of Peter Engel's stuff, also like very important person in origami. Very cool designer. Sorry, I just destroyed my microphone with the book, or slammed it. I actually don't know how much this is. It's like $10, average. Shika noko 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 kushi tantan. Is that the meme? The anime meme going around? A gun with a sword could be considered a bayonet. Oh, hey, that's true. That is very true. There's gun blades, I guess. Yo, what's up? Dox Jane, hello, hello. All right, next we have a series. These are Nicholas Terry's. I don't know if y'all can see it. Oh, excuse me. So these are, I don't think they're all part of the same series, but they're all Terry books. Here's Origami Moments. This is by Meng Wei-nin. Really cool designer. Honestly, this book, so cool. Like, I folded Panda, really cool Panda. There's some really neat designs. I folded the cat. The cat is so cute. Persian cat. This is one of the books where I folded actually a fair bit out of. A lot of times I have books I don't always fold out of them. I just read them. And then if I have time, I'll try them. I need to still do that Mosasaurus. That's super cool. And then the wolf in this book is really good. The deer's really cool. The little witch is cute. The rooster's really cool. And then, yeah, look at that wolf. Really nice. Really, really nice. Really cool book. This will definitely be on Origami Shop. This one is not sponsored, by the way. $18. It's on sale. Okay, it's 20 euros. We're just gonna say it's 20 US dollars because on sale that's about how much it costs. 20. Next up we have Fold with the Flow. Another book that's super fun. This one is by Oriol Esteve. Oriol has a pretty unique style. It's a lot of things have been designed in a bar while folding, and yeah, if you've ever taken a class by Oriol or just seen videos of him, it's very fun origami. So he doesn't really care if anything's precise or whatnot. It's like you're folding, you're having a good time, and you can kind of see his creativity through that, right? It's not some type of thing where he's going for, the most efficient design ever or anything like that, or using front of the edge 22.5 designs or anything like that. But there's a certain style that comes out of just going with the flow, which is literally the title of the book. And I really like that because I think having fun in origami is the most important part of it. Okay, I definitely purchased this for more than it is now, but it's only 10 euros, so that's the value. Very nice. So if you want this book, actually, it's cheap right now. It's only 10 euros. All right, here is the book that the housemaid and the bunny girl are from. And Obelisk, oh my goodness. I was such a big Obelisk fan back in the day, and I still am. So Obelisk is the designer who really got me into folding human origami. And this book is crazy. So like I fold the housemaid. There's a Nazgul, right? Really cool origami design. I folded a lot of Obelisk models actually. And nowadays, I like chat with Obelisk from time to time. So very cool, very cool. Shout out Obelisk, very based origami designer. And like, man, this is with like the kami, the origami paper from China. And I've used it and it's very, very weak. But somehow Obelisk has found a mastery of using that paper and can do stuff like that, which is like insane. Like my double tissue one, it's technically better paper, but I was like nowhere close to getting it as good looking as this. It's crazy. It's just like Obelisk just is better at folding his designs than anyone else's. Also, it was really good knees. So, what's the G in Michael G. LaFosse? I'm actually not sure. It might be on the Origami Do Studio website. Full name. The sun looks a lot like Inan Toledano design. In fact, it's probably Inan Toledano is inspired by Peter Engel sun design. But yeah, I see the resemblance. I've been on the editing team for most of this Origami Shop books. Super fun. Oh, hey, look at that. There you go. So you're in the know. You're in the know, Peter. Yeah. You know all that. How many books are in a series? I'm not too sure. There's like, I forget how Nicholas categorizes them, but there's certain, like this is volume 4 of, I think, the Amazing Origami series. And I think the Meng Wei-nin one is part of that. The Fold and the Flow is volume 8. So like there's a whole like Amazing Origami or something like that series. I can't remember. This one is One Water, One World. I am a big fan of marine origami. As you can tell, my first design was a fish. I made an anglerfish. There's an anglerfish. Oh, that's a fangtooth. I think there's an anglerfish in this book. But one of my first origami books was Origami Sea Lives, the 1998 print edition. And there's the Black Devil anglerfish in that book. That was super cool. So here we have a really cool turtle. This is by Meng Wei-nin. Yeah, really cool. All these are really fun. I folded the fang tooth. It's actually not as hard as it looks, but it's really cool. Yeah, really sick. Actually, it's the turtle Meng Wei-nin. I might have gotten that wrong, but it's folded or designed by a lot of people from SAOC. Shout out SAOC. Really talented designers and diagrammers. Super cool book. One Water. And I think that was one of the first books I gave away at a origami convention. It's 20 euros. And I don't think you'll find it anywhere on YouTube because I didn't film it. I kept it really low key. Actually, the past giveaways, besides the Peacock one, have kind of been low key. And I've only recently shown the books I've given away. But I normally give away 1 or 2 books at conventions every year. So that's kind of cool, right? Oh wow, there's Indonesian origami community books. That's cool. I did not know that. I should buy some of them. Okay. Next up, Kami Nyuku. I try following Chen Zhao's tutorials with Kami, the Ayaka. I don't know how he does it, but my fold had a lot of tears and white lines, and I had to fix with tape. Yeah, see, same. When I tried it with that paper, my paper tore as well and had rips and was wrinkly. I have no idea how he does it either. And it sometimes in the video when he shape it, it doesn't even look like he's being soft. Like he's really pressing it into place, and it just perfectly goes how it's supposed to. It's crazy. Dude's just built different. The sun is probably older than Enon. Yeah, definitely. All right, someone asked about this. If I had it last year. And I do. Not last year, last stream. This is the Vogue 2 book in hardcover. Original print. I think I bought this actually in person at the Origami USA convention in 2017. And I was like, oh my goodness, they have this book? Because I couldn't afford shipping from Origami Shop back in the day. So to see a local copy was nuts. Oh, I just remembered. I totally forgot to start recording this on stream. I guess I'll just have to take the stream recording from YouTube. That's totally fine. Okay. I wonder if I should just start recording now. Nah, whatever. We'll find it. Okay. Okay, Vogue 2. Really cool book. This shark was one one of the most insane sharks I had seen at the time. Probably was at the time. And then also, there's some cool human origami in there. The Emperor. If you go back in my Instagram, you can find my fold of that. I really wanted to fold that. And that was like one of the first box plate humans I'd done. Even before any of the obelisk models I'd folded. And then this also has a crease pattern. Actually, there's a diagram for the 2-headed dragon and a crease pattern for the 3-headed dragon. And hey, you can see where the inspiration for mine came from, right? 2-headed and 3-headed dragon. Very, very cool. Awesome book. Eric, you heading out? Thank you. Thank you for joining. And this one is Nature Study, Shuki Kato book. You all probably know about it. I've probably purchased this book like 5 times as giveaway books for people. Legendary book by Shuki Kato. Probably one of the most complex books still to this day. Because there's tilted grid. Genuinely insane to diagram that. 20 euros. Shuki is amazing. Built different and ahead of his time by far. Using ERM techniques and tilted grid techniques before we even really classified them as such. Yeah, crazy. All right, we're almost through. Shangnara asks, will you be giving the CC of the face on live? If you want me to. Do you want me to, Shangnara? Oh, Mark, yo, stay safe, bro. That's scary. That's actually scary. Earthquake happening right now. Yo, careful out there, man. Yeah, stay safe. Stay safe. Yikes, that's really scary. Yeah, Shangnara, if you want me to CC it, I can review it after this portion of the book of the review. We're almost done. All right. These are a few of my Tantadon collections. 19, 20, 23, and 24. What can I say? Tantadon books. These were like the pinnacle books to collect. Really beautiful collections of some complex diagrams and like a lot. You could get a huge variety of anything in these books. Like here we have Satoshi Kamiya, Praying Mantis. Here we have Jason Koo, Bicycle, diagrammed. I remember hearing a story about how excited Jason was that he actually diagrammed this crazy bicycle. Absolutely nuts. Shout out Jason Koo. We have more Satoshi Kamiya. Actually, I saw Satoshi on these books. Fiddler crab, some type of bird. Really cool. Let me see how much these are. Generally, these go for quite a bit. Boys, as you like the deep sea creatures, take a second look at your video on the Kusidama you made and Ren White. Looks amazing. Like this. Oh, dude, those tube worms. Those are really cool. Hydrothermal tube worms. Yeah, see, this marine animals are so cool, right? You get really crazy stuff like that. Speaking of that Kusidama, that'll be in part 3. I'm going to review that a little bit because that's in the case. Let me see how much these are worth. I don't know if they're sold on Tantadon. Are they 60 each? Is that what this says? New with defects and new. So it has a list of a bunch of them for 60 euros. Okay, yeah, 60 each. Wow, 60. Okay, that sounds about right, though, to get it imported. So 4 times 60. We're going to add that. All these. Not 40 times 60. 4 times 60. Okay. 1, 2, 1. All right. Will you join the Joa's convention? I want to go one day. I really do. So maybe in the next few years, I hope to go. That'd be super, super cool. Super, super cool. It's a little far, but I've always wanted to visit Japan. So I think I'm going to visit Japan next year for vacation. And then the following year, I want to attend the Teotihuacan convention, meet everyone from Joaz and some friends who are also in Japan. And then I've also been invited by Miyuki Kawamura to the Kyushu convention. She told me all about that when I met her in New York. And that sounds fun. So it's more geometric, but it sounds like a great time. All right. So I have 4 Origami USA convention books as well. These are... I'm not really going to review them, but we'll just say they're $20 each. So 80. All right. Okay, now these ones. These are some cool books. This one is Arisawa Yuga, very talented folder from Japan. Awesome dragon. There's some really interesting models in this book too. We've got a shoebill. We reviewed one of those before. Shoebill are awesome. Got some bugs. We got a dragonfly. A jet airliner. Like, that's unique, right? I think there's a trade in here as well. Really cool. Really cool. 1,800 yen. That's like $12. At least back in the day it was. I'm just gonna say it's 12. 13, 6. Do you know how to read Japanese? No, I don't. I want to learn. There's a time where I was trying to memorize all the hiragana just to start, and then katakana, and then start practicing vocabulary. But I've been pretty bad at it, so I've got a long ways to learn. But I think if I settle myself down, I have pretty good habits of how to learn stuff. I just have to do it. And I have time. Okay, this is The Graceful of Origami by Makoto Yamaguchi. I think the price is also somewhere. There is a cover for this, but I took it off, I guess. That doesn't say. Okay, this should be on Origami Shop though. Probably for more than what it was originally sold for. Maybe not. It's a little older now. Nope. Okay, it still has value. $40. All right. We're almost there. Mark, be safe. You press it. True. Mark is very safe. And yeah, Shaynara, I can show it on stream. Okay, this is new generation of Origami. Also very cool. I folded the Strachosaurus out of Kami. That's during my Kami Kamiya challenge. Kami Kamiya challenge. If you've seen that. And then also there's a really cute Katsuda Pomeranian on this book. This is a really cool one. New generation of Origami. And 2,100 yen. Which I definitely paid more than that. But $13. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I paid like 30 for that. 13. Okay. And that's a wrap. So we have increased our real value by about $2,200 just from this collection, and perceived value by a bit more. I think perceived was around 13 last time, so about $3,000. And that wraps up this portion. So this is my other spot, other part of the collection. Origami shelves. next week or next time for part 3, we're going to come back to the second cabinet and we'll have a final tally as well as a little prize related to that. But I'm going to announce that later. Thank you everyone for joining in with that main content of today. We're going to move on over to something a little different. So let me actually hide that for now. I'm going to set up a quick review of Shang-Nara's face just to give some critique live, and you can kind of see what I'm looking for. And hopefully it helps Shang-Nara. Hopefully it helps you all. It'll be good. Peter, diagrams are usually language agnostic. Sometimes the annotations. Oh yeah, whenever I fold. Sorry, that's what you meant. I never read the. Even if it's in English, I rarely read the words in the diagrams. A lot of times, exactly like what Peter said. A lot of the effort in some of the editing and books and other stuff like that is to use the standard symbols over time, and I'm very used to folding from diagrams, so I might not realize if it's in another language if there's text below it, and I can fold it just fine. Kanji is extremely difficult to read. I remember learning Japanese too. Yeah, I think there's like you need to learn like 2,300 kanji to like be okay, and then like, but just knowing the kanji is also different from being able to like speak and listen and like construct sentences. So there's a lot to work on a language, but at least the baseline, like it's not bad if you know all the kanji or all the hiragana, katakana, and thousands of kanji. So, okay, share in DM. Yeah, sure. I was like, I don't want to leak the the members server because that's valuable for y'all. That'll be good. I usually don't even use words when I diagram. Yeah, it's like best to not use words, I think, if the diagrams can speak for themselves. All right, Shang-Nara. I'm waiting for that DM. Do it on Discord DM, not Instagram. I won't be able to open that, if possible. All right, while we wait for that, we have Orietta open. Let's see if I have anything juicy to share. Maybe I can look at the pirate crease pattern and just kind of see what's wrong with it. So 48 grid, right? Let's actually copy this so I can mess around with it. Yeah, so one of the biggest issues is that like where the shoulder and neck are supposed to be with the head is just not correct. So the torso is like here, but it's 1 unit above the torso, which is not supposed to be right. So this should touch down here instead, like this. But I don't know if I lose, I don't think I do, the width of the head, because I have gaps in play. Oh, I might lose a little bit here, but I think we can just resolve it still. Like, I don't think it's bad. I'm going to have to check this later, but something's weird here as well. But like, this would fix a lot of things, and then I can probably not do this stuff here for that. So we can redesign this using, I think as long as they keep the top the same, then I can do whatever with the bottom and we'll be chilling. All right, Shang-Nara sent to the face. Nice. Let me Okay, we have two good photos here. I'm actually going to save them and have them separate so I can draw on them and show them on stream. Give me 1 second, everyone. Okay, and then I can rotate it too. That's one. Rotate this one. Okay, so I can go to here and let's change orient it into pictures. Maybe. Pirates too confusing to fold. Thanks for joining, Peter. Thanks for joining in. Good to have you. Why isn't this working? That's weird. There we go. Ah, there we are. Okay. So let's start with this photo. So Shagnara is working on a face, and it's actually a characterization of a person. So I'm not exactly going to say the name of the person so I don't spoil your thing you're making, but I'll just commentate a little bit on face to the best that I can. And I actually have this nice tool I can use to draw. So let me see if this works. Can you guys see that? Oh, nope, it's hidden. Okay, hold on. All right, now you can see it. Yeah, okay, so here we have the face, right? This is great. And let me draw some things of what I'm looking for. So we're gonna ignore the rest of the body first and just worry about the face. So here we have chin. We have our nose here. We have our mouth here. We have our eyes here. And then like top of the head, we can imagine just the rest of the head shape. Kind of like this. Around. Like that. And so I think this is generally okay proportion-wise in terms of where the mouth to the nose to the eyes are. I think if you look at drawing tutorials, you can find the actual references if you wanted to draw like a face, which you can just start with like a circle. There's something called a Loomis head, where basically you draw a circle, you trim some of it off like this, and then there's a certain like reference. Oops. Let's use green. So I recommend this. You look up Loomis head, Loomis head. How to tutorial, and it's by like Proco, and you can find like the different references on where to start placing your proportions relative to each other. So I forget exactly where it is, but if it's like eye line here, nose here, mouth here, chin below it. So far those are generally doing good. The one area that isn't Shagnara is your eyes. So your eyes are like right here. Right, you've got one here and then one here, which you have the eye ridge. And these are too far apart. I think, at least that's staring out to me like that, this area. So if you like, now everyone's a little different, but my eyes, right from the base of the nose, which is really thin, that's where my eyes are starting. Right, so on here, I know you're trying to define the brow ridge, but if your nose is like right here, right? The brow ridge, it's kind of like, well, first you want to think about the skull, like this, the actual eye socket. And that's starting like right here. So you can just look at like a picture of a skull to find a socket. And so your brow ridge should actually be a little bit higher up here, but still starting pretty close in. And you can even see just my eyebrows, like they're right here, right at that base coming down. And then even beneath that, then we have this angled eye that starts way closer in. So if you can, it might be a little too late to change on yours, but that would be proportional wise. Like right now, your eyes are kind of like here. You wanna just get them in a little bit more. Otherwise, like head shape is doing pretty good. You have the hair. Hair is pretty hard to do. I like that you're using flaps and you're actually just defining shapes. This is probably the correct way to approach hair. Even if you were to draw hair on like a person. Oops. Let's do right. So like someone's head, right? Nose, eyes, mouth. If you're to draw hair, a lot of times you don't want to do like this thing to try to draw every strand. It just doesn't work. Instead, you first think like, oh, what general shape is the hair, in? If it's like maybe just like a 60-40 part, kind of like what my hair is like. And then from here, you can just have shapes representing or maybe some texture to do the hair. But the more important part is you do shape then texture, and that will be a lot better than trying to do like strands of hair. So good approach, I think, here. It's doing good. Now I want to draw attention to the other picture. And so here we can kind of see some other things to maybe work on. So here we have your head. I'm just going to circle it. And then we have the shoulders right here. So one thing that's missing is just a little bit of neck. So it's a little bit hunched down, but you want at least a little bit of neck. And generally what this accounts to in box plating is your head or your face should be the size of one grid unit. And the neck should be one grid unit as well, above where the chin is. And that way you can shape the chin down so that it's up around half. So like if you're thinking about your tree, this is like one, and then you have another one. So your flap length between the two, you have like at least a 1 unit river for the neck between the flap for the face. So this is your face flap. It starts up here. It's 1 unit long, which means there's a 1 unit river for your neck, and you can still shape that down further to do about half a unit of neck actually showing, because obviously 1 full unit of neck is too long. But that is what I noticed proportionally here if I were to critique this. Additionally, I think maybe what you're shaping right now is actually 2 grid units tall. So I know it's crazy for faces, but a lot of times heads get too big because we're putting details in and we want to fit it. At least for the rest of your body, like I'm looking at your arm here and also just how your torso is. The face might need to be a little bit smaller. I need to see the whole model to actually like judge that, but just something to keep in track. Actually, I think maybe it's like 1.5 right now. So it's almost small enough, but it's still just a little bit too big. And that is my critique. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps other people who are looking for working on faces. Human origami. And I think my drawing software for vertical users was like way off. So like my bad. Oops. But hopefully that helped a little bit. Okay, there we go. Now it's not tracked. There's a lot to study. I just recommend like study a lot of drawing tutorials on the face and anatomy, because that's going to help your understanding a lot. Whether or not you use it, it's just good knowledge so that you're not trying to jump in blind based on just a solo reference. Because even if you have like a perfect photo reference, it's still hard to like block out what you actually need because the proportions are just crazy. I think the shape and size of the head is good. He has a pretty long head. Yeah, I mean it depends on the person too. But I think it's still too big. I think it's still too big. It was a test fold. It's a 2.5 unit head. Okay, so yeah, it depends. If you have a 2.5 unit head, then the body is gonna have to be like. Generally, I have what's this ratio? So 1 unit face equals like a 2 or 3 unit body. So let's say, for instance, if this is 2.5, then your body needs to be 5 grid units long to keep the proportion. I show I don't know if I have this picture, but I had a picture of human proportions based on head units, and that's also a good way to judge. And then last week I actually talked to Dex. He asked a question about size, and actually I can pull up Oriedit for this. And this is because origami is a subtractive art that when you need to think about humans, it's a little different. Right? So how do I get away with like the 3 unit body? This is actually truly a 2 unit body because I do the hinge thing. 2 unit body, 1 unit face, 2, 4, 6, 8 unit legs. So 8 unit legs to a 2 unit body face. But this 8 unit leg contains 1 flap or like 1.5 flaps for the foot, a little bit for the knee because it all shrinks. So if everything else shrinks but your head doesn't, then you're going to have issues. So that's why I try to keep head flaps at 1 unit. Let me share a pic for the whole structure. Sure. And then I think we are going to call the stream. It is getting late on my end. But yeah, send me the full figure and I'll do a little analysis for you. Agreeing on knee to neck and also longer hair. Yeah, let's check out that full. Longer hair helps. It'll help you define the shape a little bit more. There's also, for hair, you can look up drawing tutorials on hair. It's its whole other world. And it helps for how to think. It helps with origami because, again, like I mentioned, when people draw hair, a lot of times you draw the shape first, not the details. So drawing the shape, right, we can abstract that to origami very easily with a flap. All right. So yeah, send me that picture when you're ready. And I will messy test fold. That's fine. That's fine. I'm just gonna judge probably the proportion, if anything, just to help you. We'll just check it, everything in relation. But I guess I can also pull up. Let me try to find some examples from me that I think I did. A lot of my stuff I still think I need more work. It's very hard, but we're getting closer and closer. So I don't know if this is the right photo. Maybe. Ah, okay. Okay, I think if I path here. No, maybe not. Okay, so oh, okay. So we can't fully see everything. But I see. Okay, so yeah, I remember what this is now. Um where's my drawing tool? Actually, from this angle, it doesn't look too bad with the rest of the model, right? So here's our head. It's presumably our body here. Leg here. Arm is like this, and then here. So with that same thing, it'd reach around here with a hand. So this is looking decent, actually, proportion-wise for the whole thing. I think up close, it's just like the small things. So maybe your head size is fine because everything else is actually structured out. But yeah, at least this angle, it looks good. It looks good. You still do need that like a little bit more neck, right? So it'll help a bit because like you almost have it here, but it's like that. But when you have hold on, let me if it's like right, if this is our head shape, our neck should still be more present here before we have the torso. So just like I think if you add a 1 unit river, it still doesn't look like there's much at all here. I think the actual flap before shaping probably touches here, which is the like down a bit too much or at the base of where the shoulder is, and you just want like a little bit more. But you're off to a good start. Like honestly, it doesn't look terrible from here. I'm just pointing out what I can for critique, and hopefully that helps. I think okay, so like if we look at my fold here, even just the this is one unit. Right? Okay, let me bring that down a little bit for where that chin actually is. The chin is here. Top of the face is right there. Obviously the helmet is like a little bit bigger. This square is 1 grid unit because it's a 2 by 1. You can see the squares. So you see like even with this, it's folded down to 1 grid unit. So again, it just depends on the proportion in total. Because I'm only using like a 2 or 3 grid unit torso, that's the proportion I'm working with. And that's what makes it not look too big. If you look at some of my earlier folds with faces, the head's way too big. If you look at a lot of origami where people try to do faces or heads from like 2 years ago, not going to name names of anyone, but just like look for him. One of the most glaring issues is the face proportion is way too big. And that it makes it look uncanny. It might not look bad at first glance, but you look closely and then you measure it to a real human, it's going to look way too big. Head way too big. Fixed eyes a bit, definitely neck. Yeah. You'll be chilling. Like even on mine, right? I could use probably a little bit more neck, but because I have a tiny little bit of neck, right? I have a little connection here with the shoulder, and then here it's just shadow. So the chin isn't sticking into the torso. It's not like this. It's here. And it's like just enough. And that way you can have, right, our torso. And yeah, like if you notice, I've been drawing blocks like this to represent everything. A lot of times when you're folding, or this is more important for shaping, you can think in these kinds of blocks as well. Oh, my TikTok one is, or my vertical one's still like way off. Okay, there you go. It's like that. That's how it can help you think. This is a concept called construction in drawing, where you're drawing, you separate everything into basic forms. So like boxes and circles and cylinders and stuff like that. And it really helps you to not have to think so hard about every detail, and you can just line things up first. So again, like I had this torso construction, and that's what I want to think about for the torso, right? And then I can have the leg construction, which would be a cylinder here or something like that. And so it helps you just separate things out and just check. And then right now I measure how big is this, how big is the leg, how big are the arms, how big is the face, etc. Little tips and tricks. All right, but I think that's gonna wrap up the stream. Little knowledge drop right there for y'all. Hope that helped, Shangnara. And thank you everyone for joining and watching the Origami Collection Review Part 2. I think it's been pretty exciting. Let me know if you have been enjoying this series. We only have one more of it, and then that'll probably be it for a while. But at least the video, I'm going to hope it turns out nicely. And I'm clickbaiting the thumbnail and title a little bit with the dollar amount there. But what did we learn? We've already surpassed the amount I set as the clickbait. So should be pretty fun. And it's all true. It's technically not clickbait. It's just, it's clickbait that's true. Maybe it's not bait. I don't know. I don't know what you'd call it. But yeah, thank you everyone. I see, the problem with the proportions is that it's in the middle of the whole paper. It's kind of full. Yeah. Middle of the paper is going to be hard. You have to have the river around the whole thing. A lot of times you can accidentally forget that it's there. All right. But yeah, thank you everybody so much. Have a wonderful day or evening or night. And I'll catch you in the next video. All right. See ya.